from the Bush and Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya! D-Mac! Hold on, Matt Ryan! D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown!
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
wide
it?
open again. All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All right, Thursday, Halloween, day after the World Series ends, and I kind of want to get a hold of Tommy Kraft and ask if I can take the show off today. I'm already on the air there, so I guess I better do the show. I was really interested in binge watching New Girl, Ty. So good assignment for halftime homework. Even though that wasn't what you assigned me last week, it was Freaks and Geeks, which you can't find anywhere streaming in the United States. So you had a flash assignment all of a sudden, and it turned into New Girl, which I watched 2 episodes of. Definitely got me going, and I'm more interested in New Girl right now than I am Arkansas football. Would that be safe? Would that be safe to say? I wouldn't be the only person right now who is more interested in a comedy television show or any other television show other than Arkansas football right now. I can't be the only one.
So my roommate's junior year had me watch. I walked into our living room, and my roommate Tony was watching. I was like, Tony, what are you watching? He's like, New Girl. I was like, and I walked out of the room, and that's uppity for me to say with all the rom-coms and stuff that I watch.
Yes.
And he's like, no, sit down for a sec. I watched one episode. I don't remember which one it was, and I was hooked right away. Had my other buddies watch it by our senior years in college. Now, we are macho men, sports playing, beer drinking dudes. We're watching New Girl in like groups of 10 in our senior year of college. And it's just one of those shows where, like, regardless of your age, regardless of if you're sporty or whatever, like, it's so funny. And I with you, I'm always thinking that you're either going to really like something I assign you or really hate it. I was thinking that was your type of comedy. 2 episodes in, who's your favorite character?
Well, Schmidt. I mean, at the
Schmidt,
top
yeah.
of the absolutely. other than Jess, other than Zoe Deschanel,
Yeah.
who, I've been a fan of hers for a long time. I mean, she was an elf, and it seems that only she's playing the same character in New Girl. Anyway, I have a feeling we're going to fight later on in the show because it's Halloween. And, Halloween isn't really supposed to be about dressing up in whatever costume you want to wear, which, by the way, Ty looks like Winnie the Pooh in studio today. Got that. I thought that was a fleece, and then I saw the hoodie with the ears, the furry ears, and I figured, is this what you're going out as today? Are you got a party plan with John and the guys and Matty T? Are you going out trick-or-treating around the fort?
I have no idea what we're doing tonight. We'll see. But me and a bunch of buddies last year, we bought some onesies and went to Dixon, and I didn't want to spend money on another costume this year.
You did wear a onesie
for those who've
last
seen the explicit movie Ted. It's Thunder Buddy's costume. Now, there's a lot
that's who that is.
There's
that's
a lot
right.
of great quotes that I wish I could say on the radio right now, but unfortunately they do not abide by FCC regulations and restrictions. So I won't be able to. But those who have seen Ted, this is kind of what the outfit is supposed to be in place of. So
I know we usually do halftime homework at the end of the show, the last segment, and that's when we will do it. But I am going, by the end of this show, I am going to get you to commit to watching a real Halloween movie. I mean a scary movie. Maybe it'll be Halloween, the Michael Myers stuff. Maybe it'll be Friday the 13th. Maybe it'll be Nightmare on Elm Street. The one I want to get you to watch is The Exorcist.
Which, by the way, scary movies.
You're such a wimp.
You're welcome to call me that.
The first time I ever watched the movie The Exorcist, it was Halloween, and it came on at like 10 o'clock at night. I'd already done my trick-or-treating. I was up in the television room by myself at like the age of 10 watching a ridiculously scary movie that might even have a little bit of truth to it. So by the end of this show, you're going to commit to what? It doesn't have to be The Exorcist, although it should be The Exorcist, but it'll be a real Halloween movie. That's my goal by the end of this show. Other than the sports talk, Hogs football, Hogs basketball, good news involving women's basketball, great photos coming from Eric Musselman's Twitter account. Arkansas football looking for their first conference win this weekend against Mississippi State, and the losing streak of SEC games at 16. Coaches, hot seat coaches facing each other. I don't care about all that. I care about getting you to watch a real Halloween movie. By the end of this show, you'll commit to one of them. That's a guarantee. We're going to make sure our listeners get into that as well. 877-377-6963 is our Cherokee Casino hotline. And I have a feeling, Ty, the listeners are going to side with me. They're not going to take pity upon you that you can't handle fear or tension or thrill when you really should be able to at this time of the year and enjoy yourself a scary movie. Like I said on Twitter, like I tweeted to you, sit back, light a candle, pop a Valium, put your feet up, and let the nightmare fuel flow. Which right now, watching Arkansas football is, nightmare fuel too.
Is a Valium like Xanax? Is it the equivalent?
Yes,
okay.
it's like a Xanax.
Okay.
That's right. So it'll calm you down.
It doesn't make you hallucinate or anything?
I don't think no, unless there's some sort of weird interaction with other medicine you're taking. It'll just chill you out and allow you to view a scary movie without needing to change your underwear. Is that the best way to put it?
Okay, that makes sense. So I see my dad's watching right now, so I'm going to give him a hard time about this. I've told you I tore my ACL my senior year, Phil.
I've heard of this a few times,
So when my father was in charge of the medication I was getting, it was either Oxycontin or Hydrocodone or Demerol. And I think it was actually two of those three. And not even a week after the surgery, he just starts giving me Tylenol. He's like, we don't want to let you get addicted to this. So, for those who have had ACL surgery or any type of major surgery, the typical Tylenol, Advil, ibuprofen doesn't cut it. So my leg, and I haven't had any hard drugs since then, my leg is literally throbbing and my knee every single time I move. But my dad, being the what's the word? Very conservative father he is, and I'm dogging him for this, but I love him. He's a great dad. But he restricts it, takes it all away. So I don't think I've had anything like that since then. But I was so mad at him for probably 6 months because the doctor was like, why didn't you use the rest of these? I was like, because my parents took them away. I'm writhing in pain for a month, and my pain tolerance was given ibuprofen, Tylenol, and Advil, and then I was just supposed to make do, Phil.
Valium, I don't think it's going to help you with pain. It's just going to chill you out. By the way,
okay.
I'm having a real difficult time taking anything you're saying seriously while you're wearing that outfit.
In the Ted onesie. Yeah.
I mean, you've got your earphones on the hoodie, and there's ears sticking out of the hoodie. It's just, you look comfortable. I'll give you that.
I can't hear if I put them on top of
it's
the
very difficult right now to take you seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
W and Wick says his 4-year-old daughter watches scary movies with him. So I mean, you can loosen up a little bit here, Ty. You can loosen up. You can enjoy yourself. It doesn't always have to be comedies and laughing and rom-coms. It can be nightmare fuel, really. Which, I mean, let's be honest here too. Rom-coms is nightmare fuel for a lot of other people that might listen to this show sometimes.
Yeah, not for us though. I can't the scariest movie I've seen I think is Snakes on a Plane and What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. That's it. I can't. I'm legitimately trying to rack my brain through other scary. I just won't watch them because I can't watch it. I'm not gonna watch The Exorcist. Why would I allow myself to be tormented bad dreams and stuff and freak out and stuff?
So it doesn't have to be The Exorcist, okay? But this is I finally figured this out. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to come from behind in our college football picks, which we'll worry about tomorrow. Ties up on me in the standings, 27-16. If I find a way to come back and win, you, my friend, you know exactly what you're doing.
That's fair. I'll watch it or something. That could be your punishment.
It's The Exorcist. I'm talking. You got to see this girl's head spin all the way around, and you got to see her levitate. You've got to see her do unspeakable things with I shouldn't go any further than I'm going right now. That's exactly what I'm going to have you do if I come back and win. I feel like you'll have to watch the entire Exorcist trilogy because there were 3 of them. The last 2 weren't any good. The first one, top of the list.
Phil, I know we're coming up on our break, but one other stupid thing I did besides putting this costume on, I had this Monk's habanero sauce that our buddy Jeff Taylor gave me, and this costume is kind of itchy, and I had some of this on my hand, and I accidentally touched a part of my body that you should not be touching if you have blazing habanero hot sauce on that. So I'm going to have to deal with that the majority of the rest of the show, and I can't really do anything about it because we're on live stream right now. So deal with that as well.
You want to talk some sports after the break?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. We're brought to you today by Breeden RV and Power Sports in Van Buren. Year-end clearance sale continues right now. Great deals on new RVs, travel trailers starting at $99.95, fifth wheels that start under $30,000. And, of course, you know Breeden RV gives all new customers maintenance for life for free. Go to Breeden.com. BreedenRVs.com for more information. Promise we will talk some sports. It's coming up after the break on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
Don't spend life sitting on your hands. You're listening to Halftime. This is the Morning Rush.
And I think another element of it is the Arkansas Razorback football program has been spoiled. Now, just before you start freaking out, let me explain. They've been spoiled because their past 4 quarterbacks essentially were fantastic quarterbacks. Ryan Mallett, Tyler Wilson, Brandon Allen, Austin Hill. You've had a good run of good quarterbacks. And the fact that you don't have one right now is really making you struggle.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Fall is my favorite time of the year. Football, fine weather, and my chance to flip the lot. We're out to sell every single car in our Rath Road Ready inventory and flip the lot during our fall clearance. That's right, every vehicle must go. To make it happen, we're discounting our entire inventory with savings up to $4,300 below retail. Even our special purchase vehicles are included, like 2018 Hyundai Elantra SELs for only $13,991. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center, with buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and 50% off brake pads. Don't miss out on the savings. Help us flip the lot. Get the Rath Road Ready vehicle that's perfect for you and save up to $4,300 during the fall clearance at Arkansas's #1 rated and reviewed independent dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
We did it again. Evans Body Shop has been voted the best independent collision repair shop in the River Valley for the 2nd year in a row. None of it would have been possible without our top-notch crew and our customers, friends, and family that take their time to vote for us. We would like to say thank you. We are humbled by the continued loyalty and support from our community and staff and will continue to go above and beyond every day. Evans Body Shop, 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren. Come by today and see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
At Chambers Bank, our Arkansas roots grow deep, and you can trust us as your partner for every banking need. From a simple checking account to your first home loan, whatever you need, big or small, we are here for you. With 18 convenient branches throughout the state and a full suite of online banking options, we will always be available when you need us. Family owned in Arkansas since 1930, Chambers is your full-service community bank. Bank with trust at Chambers Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 631520.
60 is not that old, but when you're talking about a business, 60 proves you have the ability to keep your customers happy and change with the times. Guardtronic is celebrating their 60th year in business. Founded in 1959, Guardtronic has been securing homes all over the area for 60 years. Give them a call anytime. There's always someone there to get a free quote for securing your home. 785-2323 or guardtronic.com. Happy birthday, Guardtronic. License E050.
Thank goodness that the fall season is upon us. And with this special time of year comes football, cooler weather, changing leaves, and free internet and phone service from Pinnacle Telecom. That's right. Switch your phone and internet service over to Pinnacle Telecom and get your first month free. Take advantage of Pinnacle Telecom's fast fiber internet and or hosted telephone service, and your first month's bill is on us. So let Pinnacle Telecom make your fall even better with this one-of-a-kind first month free promotion. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown!
Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Spooky rejoins to bring us back here on Halftime. Appreciate you tuning in. Phil Elson, Ty Richardson, you want to be part of it. Cherokee Casino Hotline's open for a call or a text. 877-377-6963. We got a text in from, who was this here? Doug in Mountain Home. Wants us to watch Nightmare on Razorback Road, which pretty much describes what's gone on this last season and a half, of course, extending really for the last 5 years. But right now, it is as scary as it has ever been in a bad way for Arkansas football. And well, you hate to look at this poll question you've asked, Ty, but I guess it's a legitimate question. Does Arkansas's football team deserve to be made fun of? I mean, we might joke here and there, but I mean the national pundits, the people on ESPN, on Fox Sports, on FS1, see all of the other radio networks. Arkansas football has become a punchline. Just listen to some of the things that were said by Paul Feinbaum and by Joel Klatt and Colin Cowherd. We got a couple of sound bites, and Ty will fire them away.
Arkansas, recruit Chase Young. You'd make a good slot receiver.
Arkansas might be the worst team in the country.
They could be.
They
almost lost to Portland State.
I know.
That was Joel Klatt on the herd yesterday with Colin Cowherd. And here is Paul Feinbaum with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith yesterday on First Take.
Mac Jones looked great against Arkansas. Max Kellerman would look great against Arkansas.
Man, not ideal, Phil. Not ideal.
Do they deserve to be made fun of the way that they are being made fun of?
One of the things about when you're a national college football guy or gal covering the sport, you're allowed to make broader statements. You're allowed to be more critical because you don't see the players, the coaches. You don't have those daily interactions every day. Now, every once in a while, you might run into someone. I know that Dabo Swinney was really spiteful because Colin Cowherd called his team something to the equivalent of a bunch of frauds or something. I'm not remembering the exact wording of it. But coaches and players a lot of times hoard these things. They hold them back. And I made the point yesterday when I saw this clip that Chad Morris should play this over and over and over in the locker room to use it as motivation. Yes, Arkansas is a bad football team right now. They're not the worst football team in the country. If you really wanted to break it down, they're close. Now, they shouldn't even be considered in that category, Phil, and the players themselves could be ticked off enough, and that should motivate them. If there's not enough motivation heading into this weekend to get an SEC win, Chad Morris's first, and break this winning streak, I don't know what to tell you, but they should not even be considered in that category if you're the Arkansas football program.
Well, and look, national radio hosts and TV hosts are also entertainers, and entertainers will take a swipe when they feel they have the opportunity to do so. And I think I've probably done that a few times. I think you have too, Ty. But it seems to have a little bit more. What's the word here? Like hurt behind it. when you are a state as small as Arkansas, and so often you feel that the image projected towards the rest of the country comes from Arkansas athletics. There's so much else going on in this state, but sports-wise, it's the Razorbacks. Aside from hunting and fishing and things like that, it's difficult to stomach, seeing that kind of stuff coming from national pundits. But at the same time, does Arkansas football deserve to be made fun of? When you're on your second lengthy conference losing streak of the last 6 years, when you've been outscored by 41 points 2 games in a row, and those are the biggest margins of loss in an SEC versus SEC game all year, and it's now happened 2 weeks in a row, when you're losing to teams quarterbacked by a wide receiver, when you are tied for 5th worst in interceptions in the country. Yes, on a national level, Arkansas football does deserve to be made fun of, because that's what national radio hosts do. They are looking for teams to point a finger at and giggle and laugh, and that's exactly what they're doing. And the only way out of it is a win this weekend. One win in the SEC, honestly, Ty, one win will get you out of like the bottom 10 on ESPN, where Arkansas is now a staple. It'll at least change the conversation a little bit, because right now it's the same conversation you've had for over a year.
And a win against Mississippi State on Saturday wouldn't necessarily silence the critics, because there are going to be plenty of critics still criticizing Chad Morris for what he's done with the program so far. But the chirping about Arkansas football and the mistakes and the laughable plays that they've been a part of will at least simmer down a little bit. And again, this is a slow build, and it's a slow build from the pit of despair, basically, because you're trying to get out of this hole, and you're still going to get mocked every once in a while. But if you win this weekend, that'll at least it'll settle it down a little bit. And they're not – listen, Arkansas fans aren't asking the team to win the next 4 games, but there needs to be some sign of progress. There needs to be a couple of wins in these next 4 games. That's not asking too much. Asking for 5 wins this season was not overstepping the bounds. Now, the fans that were asking for 7 or 8 wins in the following season, I think that was a little too much. But where you are right now, to get out of this hole, you got to win some of these games down the stretch, and it starts with it starts with Mississippi State when the Bulldogs roll into Fayetteville this weekend, Phil.
877-377-6963, Tricky Casino Hotline. Switching gears for a moment to basketball. Yesterday was a big day for Arkansas women's basketball. We mentioned they were ranked in the AP preseason poll, 22nd in the country according to the media voters. That's the first time since December of 2014 that Arkansas has been in the top 25, and so that is a beautiful thing to see. Plus, they go out and have a nice victory over Oklahoma City University, 27-62. Out the exhibition point of the schedule, back-to-back, and maybe even better than that, recruits in the country. A 5-star recruit, Anna Eaton, out of Nixon, has chosen Arkansas, made the orbit.
Phil, I'm going to finish that thought for you while we get reconnected. Yeah, Alanya Eaton, who he's talking about, 5-star out of Nettleton. She's the number 41 overall recruit in the United States. USA Today All-American for Arkansas 2019. One of the scouts for ESPN had this to say about her. She's confident. She's an athletic left-handed guard with an offensive arsenal, shifty one-on-one creator with a mid-range game, has delivery to the arc, crossover creator, which is good, collapses the defense and gets the rim. She's a nifty passer in traffic and elite guard of the 2020 class. So it really seems like for Mike Neighbor's squad that he's starting to get some momentum. We mentioned that Arkansas, for the first time since 2002, was preseason ranked in the AP top 25 at 22. So that's good. And he got some good news this week. Phil, you back with us, bud? Phil, you there, buddy? Still working on that. So we'll get him connected. All right. Other news as far as Arkansas goes. Anticipate Hudson Henry playing on Saturday against the Bulldogs. Chad Morris spoke about that with the media last night. Didn't really pull the quote because he did not say a lot. But you should expect, at least from what he said yesterday, that Hudson Henry will play this week. Outside of KJ Jefferson, I would say, and maybe Jalen Catalon a little more, but he's played just an incy bit. I would say this is probably the most anticipated guy that a lot of people really want to see. You think about the family tree, his dad Mark, his brother Hunter, his other brother Hayden, who's on the roster. People are really excited to see what Hudson Henry could do. And again, this, like you have to do with the other freshman players, you really need to temper your expectations because, again, this will be his first game. And while it is at home, it's an SEC caliber opponent. So you just need to be aware that he's not exactly going to put up 10 receptions, 150 yards in his first game. But hopefully Hudson Henry will get a chance to play on Saturday. Phil, you back there, buddy? Can you hear me?
Are we working? Hello, is this mic going on?
I think you're still digitizing a little bit. So we'll get that connected during the break. So one more note, Phil was talking about a little bit. Arkansas, once again, is a part of the bottom 10. Ryan McGee does a weekly column for ESPN.com. He had this to say about Arkansas. The bad news, the Razorback fans had to endure a week of listening with Tua Tagovailoa out. Good thing Bama basically has a bye this weekend. How many times did Phil and I say that on this radio station? The good news, no one has special teams to throw hot potato, a dying fake punt pass in the hands of a Bama defender. He's speaking towards the fake punt against Auburn. That did not go well. And I think Arkansas fans, unfortunately, you're probably going to see that play a little more down the season, whether it's on ESPN, whether it's on ABC. They're going to play it again. It's unfortunately, you are going to be a part of back-to-back years of potentially the worst play in college football. And people got really up in arms about the North Texas fake punt play, which was really bad. But I think the one that was worse was when Rakeem Boyd ran into Jordan Jones against LSU, and they collapsed, and that was just a disaster. And then this year, now you're having to deal with the fake punt that people are going to be making fun of. All right, coming up next, we're going to be joined by Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. We're going to get in a lot of different stuff with him, touch on maybe a little basketball, probably more football than anything, but Bob is going to be kind enough to join us on Thursday at 12:30, like he does every Thursday, so we really appreciate that. Halftime is brought to you in part by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Cold filtered, cold lagered, cold packaged. It's always cold. They take pride in the process to make it the world's most refreshing beer. And it's like, you think about the coldness of the beer. They have an actual indicator of that with the blue mountains on the can. So you know when the mountains turn blue, you always go for two. Coors Light, as cold as the Rockies, and always made to chill. All right, Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. He's going to join us next on Halftime. You got any questions for him? 877-377-6963 is the Cherokee Casino hotline. He's coming up next.
You're listening to Halftime.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue. Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
You know the Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment in Fort Smith is your go-to shop for everything pressure washers. But did you know that they also handle your industrial pump and supply needs too? It doesn't stop there. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment's industrial vacuum trucks can handle dry, liquid, and even sludge removal from several hundred feet away. Leave the cleanup to the professionals. Contact Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment at 782-3762. That's 782-3762. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment, 3116 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith.
Want to do something scary? Really scary? It's Magic Screams at Magic Springs,
the scare capital of Arkansas.
3 haunted attractions, including the new Carnival number 9 in 3D.
Ride wicked thrill rides in the dark.
Plus, fun for kids means family fun by day, fright by night. September 28th through November 3rd. Park opens at noon. Magic Screams at Magic Springs, the scare capital of Arkansas. Buy discount tickets online for big savings.
If football is being played, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is the place to watch and enjoy, no matter the day of the week or time of the day. TGI Fridays has the game on and all your favorite beers, drinks, and appetizers, including $2 draft beers, $5 pitchers, and $3 specialty drinks, plus delicious appetizers like loaded cheese fries, boneless wings, skillet queso, and lots more for only $5. Football, food, and fun all day long. If it's game day, it's TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code. Lesson 42. This is how you say happy hour. It's happy hour. Let's go get some Bud Lights. That's it for today.
Brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light. Crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your evening on the Avenue. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Must have some gremlins in my connection here. That's another good Halloween movie to watch, although it's a Christmas movie, which really has a macabre sense of humor, too. Let's go to Bob Holt. He's on the Cherokee Casino Hotline, of course, outstanding sports writer from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Bob, you got a favorite scary movie that I should try to assign to our friend Ty Richardson, even though he probably won't watch it?
I don't really like scary movies.
Yes.
If you really want to be scared, the one that always scared me was The Shining. I don't know, the Jack Nicholson. You guys seen that one?
Oh,
I've seen.
I've seen The Shining many times. Read the book first, so I'm into scary movies. I love scary books. I grew up, reading Stephen King. I'm excited about Dr. Sleep, which is coming out, I think, in just a couple of weeks. That's the sequel to The Shining. So you might not like scary movies, Bob, but you picked a really good one right there.
Well, it's a really good movie, but it's just I don't want to do a spoiler, but the little girls in the hallway, that really freaks me out.
Yes.
After what happened with that stuff.
And the
Jack
blood
Nicholson's
rushing.
really good in it, though.
The blood rushing out of the elevators. Yeah, that's good stuff. I'm trying to convince Ty to watch it, but it's going to be difficult to do. So it seems you are getting an opportunity. Of course, you got to cover football and basketball at the same time. But fans seem like they're ready to turn the page to basketball and the excitement surrounding Eric Musselman's program. Right now, football obviously in a very, very scary state. So you must be enjoying covering basketball these days. I know you wrote a great piece about Earl Boykins. You got an open practice coming up this weekend, so. You don't get the chance to necessarily decide if you're ready to turn the page, but this has been a fun basketball program to cover for these last few weeks.
Yeah, obviously, Eric and the Razorbacks haven't lost the game yet, but I think there's always excitement when there's a new coach, and obviously Eric, I think he brings a lot of credibility to the job. I mean, he's been an NBA head coach. He had a lot of success at Nevada. I think he's bringing, the college game is mirroring the pro game more and more, and so I think he can use that to his advantage here. So I think Arkansas is obviously not going to be very tall, but they've got some good shooters. I think they can be a pretty exciting team. I don't know if they can make it to the NCAA tournament. They'd have to have a lot of things fall right, but I think they'll be a fun team to watch, fun team to cover.
Do you think that fans will be forgiving if the team doesn't make it to the NCAA tournament in Musselman's first year? Because, the first thing he did, remember, I think it was a fireside chat with his players the week he was hired. I think it was at Hunter Yurichek's house, and he said, I think this team can go to the NCAA tournament. So it's almost like he set those expectations. What if that doesn't happen?
Well, yeah, he sort of tempered it a little bit since then, but, they're picked 11th in the SEC. I haven't seen any preseason projection that has them in the NCAA tournament. I will say that I think the SEC is kind of top-heavy this year. I think Florida's going to be really good. I actually picked them to win the league. I think Kentucky's going to be pretty good. South Carolina has a lot of guys back from a team that did pretty well in SEC play last year after struggling in the non-conference. But I mean, I think there's probably going to be, 6 to 8 SEC teams that make it. Arkansas could possibly fall into that latter category and sneak in if they're going to have to really shoot the ball well. They're going to have to, win some of these non-conference games. The bigger non-conference games like get TCU at home. Maybe they steal one at Indiana. Definitely probably need to win at Georgia Tech, and then they have to hold their own in the conference. Certainly protect home court. But I would hope fans would be realistic because on paper they really don't look like an in-state tournament team. They don't look like a bad team. And I know people obviously want in-state tournament bids. That's why Mike Anderson's not the coach anymore because he never had a losing record, but he only got to 3 tournaments in 8 years. And so what I think will happen is by next year I think they probably will be an in-state tournament team, and then I think Eric Musselman can make him into a consistent tournament team like he did in Nevada. I mean, it was only 4 years, but they went the last 3 years, and I think he had them on a course to consistently go to the in-state tournament. That's really, I think, what Arkansas fans want.
Speaking with Bob Holt on the Cherokee Casino Hotline here on Halftime. Bob, let's change the subject up. Brandon Allen, he's getting his first NFL start against Dog Pound, the Cleveland Browns, on Sunday. What do you think about his chances having a decent game?
Well, that's going to be interesting because I think Brandon's got a lot of talent. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play here. I think people, if they had a problem with Brandon in the past, maybe not personally, just because I guess some people never liked the starting quarterback, I hope they can appreciate what he did with kind of what's gone on since, Brandon was a senior. And I think it'll be interesting to see because he's never played in a regular season game, and now he's got to go on the road in Cleveland. And, the Browns aren't a great team. They got Baker Mayfield and the Dog Pound, like you mentioned. That can be a tough place to play. So I'd be real curious. You would hope the Browns or the Broncos would, obviously not have Brandon throw the ball 50 times or download a bunch of deep passes early. But hopefully he can get in the flow of the game, kind of ease his way in and have a good game because I think he's definitely got the talent. I mean, I don't think the Broncos would have traded for him and had him as their backup if they didn't, believe in him. And so we'll see what happens. But, yeah, that'll be exciting to get. The Packers are playing the Chargers, so I'll have an eye on that one. But I'll definitely have an eye on Broncos Cleveland game also. I think, is that a 3 o'clock game or a noon game?
That's a good question. I could probably look it up.
I'll get you that answer in a minute.
Yeah. So, Bob, one of the things that Brandon had during his time at Arkansas for some years was a good offensive line. His brother Austin didn't have that. And now with Colton Jackson retiring, I'm wondering how much do you think the offensive line is going to be impacted by one of their older, more veteran guys? And is that really going to deteriorate it with him deciding to step away from football?
Well, yeah, and it's unfortunate what's happened with Colton because I think he could have been a pretty good player for him. But one thing is, it's not like he's been in there for every snap. I think he's missed like 3 or 4 games. He's had, he had the back surgery last year, and he missed the first 3 or 4 games. And really talking to him in the preseason, he didn't talk about this last year, but he played in a lot of pain, a lot of back pain last year. And I know he was really looking forward to having a healthy season. And then he did something to his foot in the preseason, and I don't think the foot's really ever been right. And he's had missed 2 games because he was in concussion protocol, and I think the back's bothered him too. And so it's just been a real tough go for him, and I don't think anybody can blame him for making the decision he did. He's got to take care of his health, and I think he was just talking to the other players. They said he was in the training room, 24/7 trying to rehab. So I think he did everything he could to try to get on the field and stay on the field. It just physically wasn't possible, unfortunately, for him and the Razorbacks. But, they've been playing without him a lot. They've played without a lot of guys. I think this is Shane Clinton, I believe, will be their starting left guard because Austin Capps is still out with concussion protocol, and Kirby Adcock was in concussion protocol, who started left guard last week. So I think that's going to be their 6th different starting combination. And that's a position where you really like to have continuity, and they just haven't been able to have that this year. I think Ty Clary, the center, and Dalton Wagner out at right tackle are the only 2 guys that have started every game. Certainly the only guys in the same spot. So it's been a tough go for the offensive line. Considering how young and experienced they are, I don't think they've played horribly. They haven't played great, obviously. But it's been tough with a lot of inexperience and a lot of, shuffling on there. It's just kind of been one of those seasons. But I guess on the plus side, if you're a glass-half-full kind of guy, you got a lot of guys getting some good reps. Ricky Stromberg's a true freshman. He's gotten a ton of reps, started a bunch of games, and so you hope that'll bode better for the future.
Bob, we got about a minute left here. So if Ricky Stromberg is having as much time, starting as he is, and you get freshman wide receivers, true freshmen starting as much as they are too. I understand the position of quarterback is different. Why not give KJ Jefferson his first start this weekend or sometime this next month? Not just to get the feet wet, but also to present that this might be the guy moving forward to take over the position for the future.
Well, yeah, I know a lot of people like to see that. I think he definitely needs to play. The thing is, Arkansas needs, even though Arkansas, it's going to be hard for them to get to a bowl game, obviously, because they've got 6 losses and they have to play at LSU. So you figure that's going to be a loss. But really, these other 3 games are all winnable. I don't know if they'll win any of them, but they're all winnable. And I think this team, this program, this fan base, they desperately need an SEC win. And, Mississippi State's struggling too and has to come in here. And so I agree with Chad Morris. You got to start who you think gives you the best chance to win. And probably right now that may not be KJ Jefferson. It may be. We don't get to see much in practice, but I think you definitely want to get his feet wet, get him in there. He can probably do some things the other quarterbacks can't do in terms of maybe a limited package of some kind. But I understand if you really feel like you're desperate for an SEC win, it's hard to start true freshman and play it all year.
3:30 is the Browns-Broncos game on Sunday, Bob. Good. I really appreciate the opportunity to break news to you. So thanks for joining us, as always, and we'll talk with you next week.
Okay, well, I have an eye on Packers, Chargers, and Browns-Broncos.
There you go. He'll be watching, too, at the same time. Bob Holt joining us every Thursday here on Halftime. All right, we've got Brent in Stuttgart on hold. He'll join us after the break. Halftime rolling along on a Thursday on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Halftime.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and B.F. Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, B.F. Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
D's Family Restaurant of Alma at 39 Column Lane across from the water park is now open on Sundays. Breakfast is served all day, and our hot buffet is served from 11 to 8, 7 days a week. Our breakfast buffet is now served from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. every day. All-you-can-eat steak Thursday night, cooked order prime rib Friday night, and a seafood buffet on Saturday night. We have a party room that'll seat 50 and plenty of parking. Call ahead, 632-1014.
Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative is excited to introduce Wave Rural Connect. They're bringing state-of-the-art high-speed fiber internet plus TV and phone services right into the homes of all members. If you're an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all repairs. Paintless Dent Repair, door dings, unsightly dents, and hail damage repair, all repaired to like new conditions. With over 1 million repaired vehicles with satisfied customers, Michael Littleton is the expert in paintless repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, conveniently located 3 miles from the Arcoma exit off Highway 112. Or call 479-461-9764. Your #1 Arkansas fan.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
It's football season, and the right play is at Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard. Their business is quality used cars at a great price with their #1 goal of passing the savings on to you. The latest makes and models, low mileage vehicles with an overall experience that can't be matched. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard today and find that there's no better way to buy your next vehicle. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales. What are you waiting for?
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
True Grit Running Company is where perseverance meets passion. Whether you're training for your next marathon or just comfortable shoes to keep up with your kids, we have the gear to help you reach your goals. With our slow motion gait analysis and our extensive product knowledge, we have the right pair of shoes for you. We also carry apparel, nutrition, hydration accessories, injury prevention gear, and recovery products. We offer classes, workshops, and group runs. Lace up, show up, and get your grit on. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Growing all twinkle fingers on you for some of these comebacks on Halftime Halloween. Welcome back into our ESPN Arkansas studios. Weekend is upon you, and if you're looking to upgrade your evening out, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge is the place to go. You can treat your appetite as well at 906. Top chef on staff, been coming up with lunch and light dinner items that you're not going to find anywhere else. The chicken pyro, the Cubana, wings that are jumbo and roasted with honey bacon jam, plus salads, flatbreads, and desserts, coffees for lunch or dinner. It's all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge, more like a destination. And, of course, what makes them famous at 906, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, and the most popular brands of cigars available in Arkansas. They're on Facebook. It's where you find their specials and events. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge at 906 Garrison Avenue. Our Cherokee Casino hotline open for you, 877-377-6963. Let's go to that hotline right now. Brent in Stuttgart. What's up, Brent?
Oh, not much, Phil and Ty. Phil, I had a couple baseball questions for you before Razorback baseball questions before I said what I had to about this football game coming up this week.
Very good. Shoot.
What a feather in the cap, or I don't know what you would say, but what an honor for the Razorback baseball program for Matt Hobbs to being interviewed for the Yankees pitching coach. I mean, that just shows at the level that our program is at right now. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with you, no doubt. I also think it says a lot about the direction that Major League Baseball is going in many cases. You know, the Yankees have they forget the name of the guy that they've signed out to run their pitching in the minor leagues, but it's a guy that runs driveline baseball up in Seattle, which has really changed the way that pitching is coached in many ways. That's a lot of the analysis that Wes Johnson and Matt Hobbs also are really deep in the weeds with. The Yankees have also interviewed the Michigan pitching coach, and along with Matt Hobbs. So, I mean, you know, Wes Johnson was the first to go straight from college to the majors as a pitching coach, and he did great things with that Twins pitching staff. I think it says a lot about Arkansas as a destination place for coaches. The true destination for coaches, though, is the big leagues. And even if Hobbs doesn't get that gig, it says a world about him that he's on the short list of the New York Yankees.
Exactly, and that just goes to show what a great job Coach Johnson did with the Minnesota Twins this past season.
Gets me wondering every once in a while. I'll cut you just real quick. Just gets me wondering if Dave Van Horn would ever think about trying to manage in the major leagues.
Don't you start that.
I don't want him to leave Arkansas, but if you got the opportunity, why wouldn't you try it?
He's probably listening.
Just throwing it out there.
He's probably listening right now, Phil. Now you got
sure.
that on his head.
I'm sure. All right, sorry to cut you off there, Brent. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem, Phil. And I was looking at the I got my season tickets for baseball ordered, and I was looking at the schedule this year. It seems to be pretty challenging, doesn't it?
The schedule?
Yes,
oh,
sir.
no doubt. The baseball schedule is crazy.
They
seem to play more road games than I've been used to seeing. I mean, going on the road to Troy, to Michigan State, your SEC schedule is always going to be difficult, but the road series that Arkansas plays this year at Mississippi State, at Ole Miss, at LSU, at Carolina, at Tennessee, all 5 of those teams should be NCAA tournament teams, and at least 2 or 3 of them on the short list for Omaha, plus the weekend in Houston against Oklahoma, Texas, and Baylor, South Alabama coming in. It is a very tough schedule. You're right.
And to your Ty and Phil, this is a football question. I just don't know about this game coming up. I don't know if we've got anything, if our poor guys, if our players have anything left to give. You know, they've been beat up so long and for 3 straight years nearly about it. And I think there's one way to sum up our coaching staff, and they don't know that they don't know what's going on. And I'd like to take your response off the air if I could.
You got it, Brent. Appreciate the phone call. So they don't know what they don't know, and I'm not quite sure how to wrap my mind around it. I'll say this, I think this team is still willing to give effort. I don't think this team has quit.
Traylon Burks running Diggs down last week.
I mean, that's one example, but it to me it seems a microcosm of what you would hope to see from the rest of the team. And at this point last year, you didn't feel like anybody had let go of the rope until those last 2 games when it was pretty obvious. And look, losing by 41 against Auburn, just so overmatched physically in that game. Losing by 41 against Alabama, I mean, that's Alabama, and Arkansas is nowhere near that level right now. This Mississippi State game, this better be a close one. If it's a loss, it better be a close one. This is a great chance for a win against a team in the Bulldogs that they've got to really be doubting themselves just as much as Arkansas doubts themselves as a team. But if it's a blowout like last year, all bets are off.
So I think Brent's right to a certain point. I still don't believe that Chad Morris knew what he was getting into. Not the SEC job, not the level of coaching he was going to have, but the attention that was going to be paid to him at every single move, every single decision, every single little thing that he decided upon. He did not have the same type of attention, nowhere near that at SMU when he made football decisions. When you're the head football coach at the University of Arkansas, every single one of your mistakes, successes, whatever it may be, is either criticized or applauded. And at this point so far, there's been a lot more mistakes that Chad Morris has made than he has success. And so when you have all eyes on you, that can be good if you're okay with that, if you're okay with the spotlight. I don't know if Chad Morris is a spotlight head coach. Maybe he can grow into that. Maybe it's a slow build from him if they actually start winning some games. But I think he grossly miscalculated how much attention was going to be paid to him once he stepped on campus at the University of Arkansas.
Well, and look, when you're dealing with what's the most important position in sports? Is it quarterback? Is it legit to say that? Quarterback, no doubt. When you're dealing with a situation in last year where the quarterbacks were just physically, they weren't up to playing at the level you wanted them to play at. And now this year, admittedly, with quarterbacks that you brought in from other programs, I mean, Chad Morris is responsible for the quarterbacks that he's got right now. He wasn't last year. Those were not the guys he recruited. And no matter who you put out there, you haven't had a good performance. And it just seems to start there and filter down to, almost like every other decision. It's just if you're wrong about the decision of who you're playing at quarterback, how can you feel confident about a lot of the other decisions
especially
that you're making?
Yes, because you're speaking to, that's supposed to be his wheelhouse. Jason from St. Louis texted in on the Cherokee Casino hotline. He says he's talking about unconscious incompetence. I'd say it's more conscious competence, meaning they see the problem and feel uncomfortable fixing it, which leads to lack of conviction with in-game decisions. They know they have a problem at quarterback. It's dated back to last year. There just hasn't been a worthy guy that they feel confident enough in to keep in the rest of the season, regardless if it was last year with Ty Story and Cole Kelly, or this year, Starkel, Hicks, John Stephen Jones, potentially KJ Jefferson. And I think with the quarterback position, like Phil, let's say you came in, obviously you're the standout baseball guy of this show. I've made it very clear that I don't know jack about baseball. And all of a sudden you come in to the radio show and you realize, and this is not the case for you, but your baseball knowledge is tested, and time again you come up short, or you fail to answer a listener's question or calling in stuff, and you start to get discouraged with yourself because you thought that was your thing. That was the one thing that you could always hold on to because that was your thing. That's almost what Chad Morris and his staff is doing right now. Yes, they've never been known for defense, but they've been known for offense, and they've been known for quarterback play. And when they've struggled in those departments, Chad Morris is looking around the room like, what are we doing? We're supposed to be good at this. Now, that doesn't mean they can't get it fixed. It's going to take a lot longer than we thought it was, but that's where they are right now.
Well, and if the confidence level of who you're starting at that position just has gotten less and less and less as this season goes on. Because at this point, and I saw one of our texters earlier refer to this as it's a no-win situation almost for Chad Morris. And it's of his own doing because these are quarterbacks that he's brought in. But think about what you're left with right now. You're left with a quarterback in Ben Hicks who has really not looked like the guy from the get-go to lead this offense. Not as a starter. He's been better coming off the bench. You don't want to be in that position where you got to feel like you got to have someone come off the bench. Nick Starkel is throwing more to the other team than he is to your own team. So then you got a sophomore in John Stephen Jones who has played one drive, and people are calling for him to start off that one drive. I might have been one of those people for a moment or so. And then a true freshman in KJ Jefferson who might have all the tools, but not really the know-how of how to play the position right now. It truly is. This is a rock and a hard place for a head coach who is supposed to know about quarterbacks. And I think he does, but it's like, what do you got on your team right now? That's all you can work with. We can work with the second hour of halftime, so stick around. Your calls, your texts, coming up after the break.
Great camping weather is just around the corner, so at Breeden RV in Van Buren, we're having our year-end clearance sale right now. Get great deals on new RVs like travel trailers that start at $99.95 and fifth wheels starting under $30,000. Breeden RV is the only dealer that gives our new customers maintenance for life for free. We also have a great selection of pre-camp trailers and RVs to choose from. Now is the time to camp, and now is the time to let Breeden RV in Van Buren show you just how easy it can be. Breeden RV, your home for maintenance for life.
Oh, that's an RV.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
B&J Comfort Solutions provides home comfort and energy solutions to the River Valley, specializing in residential sales, service, and installation, offering only the absolute best customer service around. Call in for any of your service, maintenance, or replacement needs. B&J Comfort Solutions offer an industry-leading 5-year labor warranty on all new system installations. Veteran-owned and operated, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Contact B&J Comfort Solutions today at 479-646-0284.
It's cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Podo. Make your best deal of the season on the best-selling economy tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma, the L2501 Kubota, or increase your productivity with the larger L4701. Need something smaller? Try Kubota's BX or B Series tractor. Now is your time for savings at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Podo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Stuck with the clouds tonight. Some periods of drizzle, even some freezing drizzle possible across the north. Overnight low 30 north, mid-30 south. We have a chance of a few isolated rain showers early Thursday and then clearing to sunshine. Our high temperatures low 40s north, upper 40s south. Sunshine back with us Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Harry Robinson Buick GMC, where you always get more for your trade. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith. You can shop anytime at harryrobinson.com.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith, from the Bush and Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya, D-Mac! Hold on, Matt Ryan! D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown!
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
wide
it?
open again.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Second hour halftime here. I am no closer to convincing Ty Richardson to watch The Exorcist or any really good scary movie than I was an hour ago, and I said it was going to be my goal for the show. I got another hour left.
You just got to win the college football bets, and then I'll be required to, Phil.
No, yeah, well, then you're required to specifically watch The Exorcist. It's not just a movie of your choice. I get to choose it. I'm going to give you a choice of some movies. And, oh, by the way, one of the movies that I will put on the list of choices for you to watch this next week, because I'm giving you an opportunity to make a choice. I'm giving you a choice. One of them won't be scary, but it will be a musical. All right,
I'll probably have to take.
I know you're definitely going with the musical.
I don't like scary movies, dude. I don't know.
We all change sooner or later.
Give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know.
We all really do change. I didn't like Indian food until a year ago. So we all change, man.
41 years deep.
At the age of 41, I made a change, and I was perfectly okay with it. Age of 24, you can do exactly the same thing. 877-377-6963, our Cherokee Casino hotline. That's to get with us on a call or a text. I'm Phil Elson. He's Ty Richardson. And he also, right here on our hotline, is Robert in Fort Smith. Hey, Robert, what's going on?
Hey, guys, real quick, how would Morris not understand? People bring up, well, he got over his head. Joe Blow fan knows that the SEC is the hardest conference in America, and look what Franklin did. Franklin over at Vanderbilt. He was smart. He got to Penn State. Now he's winning. And it's like, I just don't, some of that's hard for me to buy when just you watch football and it's like, what conference you're in. And So I'm just seeing what y'all's thoughts are on some of this.
Or Robert, what I was speaking to first, and I agree with the SEC analogy they're putting. Everyone knows it's the toughest conference in college football. I'm more speaking to Morris's day-to-day activities, his decisions on who's starting at quarterback, at safety, if so-and-so is going to play. He didn't have that pressure at SMU. Dabo had that pressure at Clemson. He was the OC. So when you go from Texas high school football, which Phil and I have talked about at Stevensville and Lake Travis, he might have had more pressure there than he did at SMU. There might have been, now we don't know this because we weren't there, there might have been more media members that paid attention to his high school days than there was at SMU. And then as an OC, you just don't get the same type of questions and criticisms that you would as the head coach. That's what I'm speaking to. I just don't think if he knew how much that Arkansas fans feed off the football program from Fayetteville.
I also don't think he really knew how far he had to go with what he was inheriting. How bad things had gotten,
That too.
and how recruiting had been just destroyed. By some bad decisions from Brett Bielema and his staff. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said some of the things that he said. I'm sure that there was some research done about what am I inheriting here, but I don't know if he took that research to heart. Otherwise, I don't think you'd have made some of the promises that were made, and some of those are now getting thrown back in his face. From fans, from media across the state, and at the same time for pretty good reason. Text coming in 877-377-6963. Carl from Lavaca said is Sinister. He said you want to watch Sinister or The Conjuring. Those are two really good scary movies, and I think he is likening. What am I looking at here? It says, is it a part of Ty's outfit or his middle part supposed to look like an open book? You've taken off your costume, Ty.
Yeah,
you don't look
hot.
like Winnie the Pooh anymore. Now you really look like Ty Richardson wearing a T-shirt.
I look like a greaser, I think. But yeah, it's too hot. I just had this white shirt underneath, and I was just like, man, I'm just gonna do this. I got my what's this material called? Fleece material down low. I'm not wearing anything but boxers down low, but yeah, I was just getting hot up top, and I'm getting to the point. So like, Phil, my hair, it looks different. Like, it looks fine when I'm just without any headphones or anything, but it looks really screwed up when I put these massive headphones on and I have the hair like pulled back. So that doesn't necessarily help my aesthetics when it comes to the live stream.
So let's get a little baseball going here. Breaking news: Mike Matheny has been hired as the new manager of the Kansas City Royals. That'll make the annual Royals-Cardinals series a little more interesting than usual. But he take was it 2 years? Like, it got canned midway through the 2017 season or 2018 season, I believe. So took some time off. What was he coaching his son's little league teams and stuff like that, and now is back to a major league manager. So Mike Matheny hired a couple of days after Joe Girardi sat down with his Phillies uniform buttoned incorrectly. Did you see Girardi at his press conference? He had and hey, maybe it's difficult to button a uniform up properly, but he had the buttons awkwardly to the point where the "F" was above the "Lees" on his jersey. Not the best look, but hey, at least he knows what the mascot is called, unlike Herm Edwards when he had that press conference at Arizona State.
So I've told you I'm a Royals fan, but I'm about as fake and fair weather of a Royals fan as it gets. Did Ned Yost retire or did he get fired?
He was let go.
Okay.
I think he was let go.
That shows you that I'm supposed to be a Royals fan. I don't even know what the ending of the manager position is out there. So.
Well, they'll have, the Royals have a long way to go to where the Nationals are.
Yeah.
World champions, another comeback win.
You gave the Astros the kiss of death, man, earlier this week.
I think, the team that was favored, I think, lost every single game. And because usually you get favored when you're at home. So the road team wins all 7. The Nationals, what is it? What was it? 5 games in this postseason, they were facing elimination and trailed late and still find ways to come back. And I'll tell you, the way Zach Greinke was rolling along, I thought it was done, especially after the Astros scored that second run in the 5th inning. And Greinke's working on a one-hitter, but he makes a mistake, hanging a changeup to Anthony Rendon. That goes gone. And the next thing you know, he issues a walk. And the biggest decision of the game made by A.J. Hinch is deciding to go to Will Harris instead of any of his other relievers, or to maybe Garrett Cole. Harris gives up the the go-ahead 2-run homer off of the big yellow pole in the right field corner from former Traveler, don't call me Howie, Howard Kendrick.
So let's talk about the decision. I know a bunch of my friends were blown away that you didn't go to Garrett Cole. You obviously have paid a lot of attention to this World Series. Why didn't Hinch pull Cole out of the bullpen and go with the other guy? And what's the other guy's name again? Sorry, Brown? Who's the pitcher?
Went with Harris. Will
Harris instead.
And it's starting pitchers are not used to coming in out of the bullpen with men on base, but in Game 7, it's got to feel a little bit different. And Harris is not one of their one of their main relievers. I mean, he did have himself a good season. It was an interesting decision, and it was a one mistake pitch. So I don't know. I mean, it felt obviously it's the wrong decision because this one blew up in his face. Do you go to an Osuna, in the seventh inning when you want to try to save him for the eighth or the ninth innings? And even Garrett Cole said afterwards that Hinch and he had talked about the sort of situation they wanted to bring him in. I think they were waiting to get Cole to start an inning rather than come out of the bullpen with men on base in a situation that he wouldn't have been used to, But then on the other hand, is he used to, pitching the eighth inning of a game when you didn't pitch the first seven? And by the way, that's the last time Garrett Cole's going to pitch for the Astros. Is really, from some of his post-game comments, he is already moving out of Houston and looking to either the Yankees potentially or the Dodgers or the Angels. I think he'll be going to one of the coasts.
Because the Nats went Scherzer, Corbin, closer. That was their rotation last night, right?
That's what they did last night. And Corbin has been used as a reliever throughout the postseason. Remember, the thing the Nationals were doing is they were using Corbin as a starter and a reliever. Cole hadn't had to do that yet. So, man, what a World Series. Another 7-gamer. And the Washington Nationals win the first World Championship in the history of the Montreal Expos / Washington Nationals. Halftime's brought to you by our friends at Breeden RV in Van Buren. Having the year-end clearance sale right now. It continues with great deals on new RVs. You'll find travel trailers starting at $99.95, fifth wheels that start under $30,000, and all new customers get maintenance for life for free. Plus a great selection of pre-camp trailers and RVs to choose from. Go to BreedenRVs.com to get a look at the inventory. Your calls and texts, 877-377-6963. Halftime continues right after this very quick break.
Shooters shoot. You're listening to Halftime. This is the Morning Rush.
And I think another element of it is the Arkansas Razorback football program has been spoiled. Now, just before you start freaking out, let me explain. They've been spoiled because their past 4 quarterbacks essentially were fantastic quarterbacks. Ryan Mallett, Tyler Wilson, Brandon Allen, Austin Hill. You've had a good run of good quarterbacks. And the fact that you don't have one right now is really making you struggle.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Great camping weather is just around the corner, so at Breeden RV in Van Buren, we're having our year-end clearance sale right now. Get great deals on new RVs like travel trailers that start at $99.95 and fifth wheels starting under $30,000. Breeden RV is the only dealer that gives our new customers maintenance for life for free. We also have a great selection of pre-camp trailers and RVs to choose from. Now is the time to camp, and now is the time to let Breeden RV in Van Buren show you just how easy it can be. Breeden RV, your home for maintenance for life.
Oh, that's an RV.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Weedeker Village Wine and Spirits is your full-service liquor store at exit 41 off I-40. Weedeker Village Wine and Spirits has all your favorite brands of beers and craft beers, plus wines and spirits, all at great prices. And no one has more Arkansas wines, including Weedeker's award-winning wines. Plus, they have a convenient drive-thru. It's not just a stop, it's an experience. Open 7 days a week. You heard that right. Sundays, too. Weedeker Village Wine and Spirits, your full-service liquor store at exit 41 off I-40.
Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative is excited to introduce Wave Rural Connect, bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone services right into the homes of all their members. Get amazing fast fiber internet 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for $79.95 per month. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out where they're installing in your area, or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Call them at 479-997-2366 or log on to BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Made in the USA Furniture.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Made in the USA Speed Queen Washer and Dryers.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
In-store, no credit check financing.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
0 down and 0 interest with approved credit.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Family owned and no high-pressure sales staff.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Find us on Facebook and Instagram. 405 Fort Street, Barling, Arkansas. Your Made in the USA headquarters.
Best seats in the house.
ESPN 95.3. Touchdown! Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Halftime continues. ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. I had misspoken, or I was just wrong, saying that Ned Yost was let go. He retired. I think if he didn't retire, he would have been let go. So, in this case, it can be 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. But for a guy who took them to, what does he have, the most wins in Royals history? World champion, American League champion twice. You let somebody like that retire rather than put out, we're getting rid of you. So, and now Mike Matheny taking over as the new manager of the Kansas City Royals. All right, it is Halloween. I am not dressing up today. Don't have the kids here, so there's, I guess, no reason to. I am an adult that does like to dress up and go out with the kids, but I'm not going to do it by myself. So, unfortunately for me, Ty, today is really just another Thursday in which maybe I'll watch a scary movie later tonight because there's no baseball to watch. I guess I could watch the NFL game, Niners-Cardinals, not a terrible one. Pretty good game, in fact. Maybe I'll put that on today. But this goes on to the conversation we were having earlier, and I think that we'll continue later on in the show. Best Halloween movies, and you go with the TV episodes, too. I'm not going to go with TV episodes. I'm just going movies here, man. I mean, and I feel like I grew up during what we felt was like the heyday of horror movies. Stuff like Friday the 13th, which I watched a chunk of Friday the 13th Part 3 2 or 3 nights ago, and it was just as good / bad as I remember. Had Halloween H2O on last night. I really love Nightmare on Elm Street. That, to me,
is that the one with the claw, like the
Freddy
claw?
Krueger?
Yeah.
Yes, the guy with the Edward Scissorhands thing going on the. I think it was a Krueger's. I forget which hand it was, and it spawned. What, there were like 6 or 7 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Even one movie, and this is one I've got to see. Freddy versus Jason. That was always like the debate that we had as kids that were into those horror movies. It's like, who would win between Freddy or Jason? And for me, it's Freddy. Because if it's somebody that can invade your dream. Do you know the story of Nightmare on Elm Street, Ty? Do you know how Freddy Krueger gets to his victims?
Explain it to me.
He lives in your dreams, man. It's the most frightening thing you could think of. And if he kills you in your dream, you're dead for real. So you don't ever want to go to sleep. I mean, think about this for a moment. We all need to sleep. And the moment that these teenagers would fall asleep, they would figure, well, I guess that's it for me. And they would have to find a way to escape Freddy in the dreams, which just sounds mortifying, doesn't it?
That doesn't sound like something I would be very interested in.
I
watching.
could picture you watching that movie and then lying in
Curled
your bed.
up next to a pizza and a natter day.
Yeah, sucking your thumb at the same time. No, looking up to the ceiling on your back with your eyes totally wired, shaking, trying to make sure that you don't fall asleep. I would love to assign you that one. I like zombie movies. I've been into zombies for a while now. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. And I'm talking the original ones made by George Romero. These were Pittsburgh movies, by the way. And the Night of the Living Dead.
Home Sweet Home, baby.
The cemetery that movie was made, it's the cemetery about 4 steps away from my parents' house.
All right,
so it's like there were real zombies in that thing, man. And Dawn of the Dead, which took place inside a mall, that's the mall I grew up going to, the Monroeville Mall.
Just some parallels. Rex from Hector texted on the Cherokee Casino hotline. He said, watch Salem's Lot. Have you ever watched? Is that a good one, Phil?
I read Salem's Lot. That's another Stephen King book. And it will scare what's left of my hair right off my head.
So how did Stephen King come up with all these different novels and plot lines? I feel like, how many movies, and I know Betty, our traffic manager, is a giant Stephen King fan. How does he continuously come up with these plot lines, movies, books, and stuff? And they're always books first, and they become movies. And people just flock to him, man. It's incredible. I don't think read a book or anything like that. Not Stephen King book. Yeah, I've read books, but yeah.
Well, so I just pulled up a list of his books, oldest to newest. The thought of these books being lined up one after the other for like 7 years. Carrie, the girl who had powers with her mind that she could make things move or set things on fire just based upon what she was looking at or thinking, and that's how she got back at her tormentors in high school at the prom. Salem's Lot, The Shining. Just love The Shining, The Stand, The Dead Zone, Firestarter, Cujo. Oh, goodness, Cujo. We had Cujo on for like the last 15, 20 minutes. That's the movie of the rabid dog that's terrorizing a mother and her son inside a Dodge Dart vehicle right outside of a house. That one stayed with me for a while. Pet Sematary. He just has I don't want to say demented mind. He's just very creative and isn't afraid to get a little gross. And just make you as scared as he possibly could be. Maybe this is one reason why I'm just so screwed up. Because I started reading Stephen King books at like the age of 8. I should have been a horror author, really. I mean, I was listening to baseball play-by-play broadcasts at the same time that I was reading Stephen King in my bed.
You and your baseball and your scary movies, me and my football and my rom-coms, Phil. Just two matchmates in heaven. John in Nashville texting on the Cherokee Casino hotline. He says Pumpkinhead. Have you seen that movie?
I've not seen Pumpkinhead, but it sounds like it would be good. I like the title. Okay. Salem's Lot is terrific. W.N. Wick says watch The Shining remake. The Conjuring is a great movie. What was another one that we had here with George C. Scott? Somebody had just tweeted us asking about this movie, The Changeling from 1980. That's another really good one. I mean, you really have your choice here, Ty. I mean, there are great movies. You could watch Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead and not really be, like, scared. I do think if you watch The Exorcist, you'll have to peel yourself off the ceiling. That is a movie that will stay with you for the rest of your life.
I feel like I'll just stick to my Charlie Brown Halloween special.
Stick with the Great Pumpkin, right? I remember that one.
Oh, man, I feel like I try and watch all the Charlie Brown specials whenever it's associated with the holiday the movie is. So I try and do that. I don't want to – let me tell you something. We're going to get real open about this. I used to have nightmares, and I don't have them anymore. I used to have nightmares about VeggieTales, Phil. VeggieTales. The Christian-based
Will you please warn me that you're going to say something like that before I drink coffee? Because I almost spit that all over the place.
And
VeggieTales gave you nightmares?
Listen, here's what would happen. I'm not kidding when I say I'm being very open about this, and I might regret it later, but we'll see. So I would have these other dreams, and at the end of my final dream, I would go down this water slide. I don't know where this came from. I guess going to Wild River Country when I was younger. And Bob the Tomato and Larry the Cucumber would be at the very bottom, ready to judge me on how I did in my other. I can't make this up. I swear this was true. And if I did quote unquote good in my other dreams, I woke up. If I didn't, I got spanked, and then I woke up. And they were, like, demented. Like, I don't remember if they had an axe or anything, but I just remember as a kid being, like, 6 or 7 years old, like, not wanting to watch VeggieTales because I knew if I watched it that night, it's not going to be fun for me to wake up the next day.
This all really seems to make sense now. This is the only person who has ever made a true connection between VeggieTales and never wanting to watch a real scary movie.
Because can you imagine how amplified that would be if a cucumber and a tomato managed to spook me? What, like, pulling out the exorcisms of a demon or a demon child or whatever it may be. Some of all these plot lines that you're talking about, these different Stephen King and scary movies, I couldn't handle it. I would just be like, and I see these commercials of, like, It. That freaks me out, too. Like, there's no chance I'm watching It.
The trailers for It Chapter 2 were, like, enough.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to that movie. Lovely lady loves scary movies. So she's introduced me to a few of them. Insidious, which stars Ethan Hawke. Terrific movie about the sort of the origination of the boogeyman, Bughuul. What are the other ones that I'm thinking of here?
What's the one with Ichabod Crane, like the Headless Horseman?
Yeah. Oh man,
what's that called? Someone texted in on the Cherokee.
Legend of Spooky Hollow, I think
that's it. Yeah.
Is that one?
I might have watched the cartoon version of that, which obviously isn't scary. So, just I don't know.
Sinister's really good. Hereditary is terrific. These are all movies you'll find them on whatever streaming service right now. You'll have no trouble finding them. I'm going to give you a window into what you are allowed to choose between for this next assignment, okay? Because I think you should either watch. Now, I watched The Lost Boys the other day. The Lost Boys is a vampire movie from 1985 or 6. It takes place in California. Stars Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Feldman, and Corey Haim, which to those people who are my age, when those two are in a movie, you never missed it. Diane Wiest and Jason Patrick, and I'm forgetting the name of the actress who was the lead. It was a Jamie Gertz. I don't think it was Jamie Gertz, but it was somebody along that line. Great movie, The Lost Boys, about teenage vampires, the real thing. So you can watch either that, or you could watch The Exorcist, which I know you're not going to until I come from behind and beat you in our picks, or you can watch Little Shop of Horrors. Do you know about Little Shop of Horrors?
I don't know what that is either.
So that's the musical. It's a Broadway production that was turned into a movie, I think in like 1986 or 87. Rick Moranis, Ellen Greene, Steve Martin are in it. It's not scary one bit, but it is about an alien plant, meaning like a plant in a pot, that eats human flesh. And its caretaker, played by Rick Moranis, who has to find human flesh for this plant to eat. It's a comedy, okay? It's not a horror, but it is called Little Shop of Horrors, and I will allow you to make that your assignment if you want to, but you can make that decision at the end of the show.
I think I'm going to watch the vampire one, but we'll see. We'll see if I decide between now and then.
I mean, earlier you were telling me that you were definitely going to watch the musical. I guess not. We'll see what happens. All right, stick around. Halftime continues right after this break.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson. Follow them on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP and at Ty Sports Radio.
Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all repairs. Paintless Dent Repair, door dings, unsightly dents, and hail damage repair, all repaired to like new conditions. With over 1 million repaired vehicles with satisfied customers, Michael Littleton is the expert in paintless repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, conveniently located 3 miles from the Arcoma exit off Highway 112. Or call 479-461-9764. Your number one Arkansas fan.
Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold? 3 times. It's that cold. So make sure the mountain on your can of Coors Light is blue, because that means it's ready to enjoy. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hi, I'm Serafin from La Huerta. Here we like everything caliente. We have daily, lunch, and dinner drink specials. Happy hour every day from 2 to 6. Check it out! Football and drink specials all season. Voted best of the best Mexican restaurant and best of the best margarita. We have over 15 TVs for your viewing pleasure. We have 4 locations to serve you. Open 7 days a week. La Huertas. Eat until you hurt. In Fort Smith. La Huertas.
Metal Direct offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Direct assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by their location at 7420 Inmar Drive in Little Rock, 1 block off University behind Napa Auto Parts, or call them at 501-562-3112. Metal Direct, the right material for the right price.
I'm Lisa Hinton, owner of Champ Hinton Enterprises. For nearly 50 years, the Champ Hinton name has stood for one thing: selling quality cars in a different way. Taking the mumbo jumbo out of the process and making customers happy. All these years and tens of thousands of cars later, we're still here, doing business the way Champ Hinton taught us. Selling to generations of families who've become part of our family. Champ Hinton Enterprises, the area's premier used car dealer. Take the Arcoma exit off I-540 or go online at champhinton.com.
ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your evening on the Avenue.
Back on halftime, Phil Elson, Ty Richardson. We thought that eerie silence would work for Halloween, too, because that also will freak somebody out. If it's just... if you don't hear anything when you expect to hear something, I think that'll freak you out as well. Appreciate you tuning in today. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince Ty Richardson to watch a scary movie, but one thing's for certain. If he does kick back, if he does watch The Lost Boys or Little Shop of Horrors, or if somehow if John Neighbors is able to like duct tape him onto the couch and pin his eyes open so he can't shut them, a la A Clockwork Orange, then I'm sure you can at least leave his right hand open so that he can grab himself an ice-cold Coors Light.
Yeah, the official beer is Saturday mornings. You wake up, you turn on College Game Day, and you grab you an ice-cold Coors Light. Cold lagered, cold filtered, cold package. Your favorite bar, your favorite gas station, your favorite place to pick up alcohol, get you some ice-cold Coors Light. Phil, the great thing about Coors Light, the beer slush, the cold activated can, when the mountains turn blue, what do, man?
You say boo!
You say boo! And go for 2. Coors Light, made to chill.
Okay, so what's this Coach's Hot Seat website you sent me to today?
Because Bill King loves this website.
Bill King loves this website.
Big fan.
Coach's Hot Seat has Joe Moorhead and Chad Morris as Hot Seat number 1 and Hot Seat number 2. But that's not what's pulling me, further down this incredibly long front page. It's that this website must have been invented, must have come out the day that the Internet started. I mean, this looks like a website from 1990. This looks like something I'd pulled up on Prodigy or on AOL. And they say it covers college football coaching from Miami to Honolulu, and it's probably still stuck in the days of the Bowl Alliance. I mean, this is not your younger brother's college football website. This isn't Saturday Down South. This isn't a lot of the places that you go get some news, but it is a place that has some pretty hard opinions about college coaches, and they must put some thought into it because they go 1 through 30 on the hot seat, and Joe Moorhead, Chad Morris are hot seat 1 and 2, which, I mean, we were sort of jokingly calling this Saturday's game the Desperation Bowl, but maybe we could just call it the Hot Seat Bowl.
Tom Murphy asked Chad Morris about this particular list when the coaches met, when Chad Morris met with the media last night, and here's what he had to say.
Coach, hotseat.com has Joe Moorhead number 1 and you number 2. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, you can't control what other people say, and that's the least of my worries. My worries are making sure that this football team continues to get better every day.
First of all, props to Tom Murphy for actually asking the question. I don't have the gall, and I don't have the, what's the word, the lawn not grandstanding, but the fact that I've been doing this for like 2 years in Arkansas sports. I can't do that. Tom can. Props to him for asking the question.
Well, there's also the way to ask the question, through somebody else's lens, which is saying this website has you as on a hot seat. What do you think? Instead of saying, do you think your job is in jeopardy?
Yeah. So, again, Joe Moorhead listed at 1, Chad Morris at 2, and we referred to this topic conversation earlier this week. There is a ton of pressure. This might be not only in the SEC, but if you look at every single game across college football this week, this might be the most pressure-packed game in terms of what could happen to the head coaches in the near future.
That's legit. That really is. And it's such a different prism to look at the two different programs where you have Mississippi State for 15 years was where Arkansas is right now, bottom of the SEC West without really a hope of getting out of it until Dan Mullen turned them into it's funny because Hot Seat here refers to Mississippi State as a top 30-ish football program. And Arkansas, I think, was in that, top 30-ish list for a good long while until Mississippi State rose and became what they are now. So, now the expectations are for the Bulldogs to be a bowl team. That fan base doesn't accept it if they're not a bowl team. You feel like they would have, thrown a parade and tore down the goalposts if they would have made it to a bowl in, 2005, 2006 when Sylvester Croom was the coach there. For Arkansas, you're just hoping to be relevant again, just to be to look like an SEC team, to compete with the best teams in the conference and look like you belong on the same field. And honestly, I have a feeling, it feels to me like Joe Moorhead's seat is hotter than Chad Morris's because of the expectations upon that program, because of what he'd inherited there. And I know they lost a lot to the NFL draft, but there was also still plenty there. And for Chad Morris, I'm not going to stand here and say, you got to give him 3 years, give him 4 years or whatever, but you know what he inherited. You know what this program was like before he got here. It hasn't gotten any better. And honestly, you could really look at this year right now as worse than last year. But I do think that Joe Moorhead's job is more at stake than Chad Morris. If you want to base it upon this Saturday's game or just the last 4 weeks, I think that if you're going to look at a second-year coach in the SEC whose job is truly in jeopardy, I think it's more Joe Moorhead right now.
Yeah, because if Arkansas loses this game, fans are going to be ticked off. Hunter Yurtick's going to be frustrated, as well as the Board of Trustees. But it's not the same caliber of game as if you were losing to Western Kentucky the following week when you have your former quarterback in there. Now, in Mississippi State's case, Arkansas is the worst team, not only in the SEC West, but probably in the entire conference. Like it happened in 2012. Y'all remember when old Gene Chizik in Auburn lost to Arkansas? That could be the exact same type of situation this year where Arkansas could be a coach killer. It could happen, Phil. That could be one of those things where you're just like, well, they're going to lose. They're going to lose that. So you lost to Arkansas. You need to be let go. But I don't know. Again, we're not, our ear's not to the ground in Starkville or in Mississippi for that matter. So maybe we could be reading too much into it. But this seems like a pressure-packed game for both coaches heading into this weekend.
Matt Luke isn't on this list on Coach's Hot Seat.
Kind of surprising, right?
I guess it is. But, they already have a couple of conference wins. So at least it's a step forward from where they were previously. So, the SEC coaches are littered throughout here. You got Joe Moorhead at number 1, Chad Morris at number 2, Will Muschamp number 5, Barry Odom number 7, Jeremy Pruitt number 9. I guess I could stop there, but Derek Mason's at number 17. Kirby Smart is at number 22. It's like half the there's Matt Luke. He is number 27. So it's like
I would think it'd be a little higher than that, right?
It's like more than half the league is on the hot seat. And there were no coaching changes last year, but how many first-year coaches did you have last season? Was it 6? I can't remember exactly how many there were. You had Morris, you had Luke,
Luke,
Moorhead,
Pruitt, Moorhead,
Jimbo Fisher,
That's 5.
Eddie O.
Yeah, because that was last year's first.
Last year was his first year as the official head coach.
Okay, so that's 6 because I guess he took over in middle of 2017.
And Dan Mullen.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, because he had Florida transferring. So, yeah, 7. that
well,
right?
and Jimbo's not on this list, and neither is Dan Mullen. But the rest of those coaches in their second year are on that list right now.
Yeah, and I think is Smart. This is Smart's fourth year, because you had the first year when they lost to Tennessee, second year they go to the national championship, third year. Yeah, this is fourth year. So.
Well, again, and they put their thoughts out there in very lengthy paragraphs, but the website here does look like it's looks like something that you saw on the screen in War Games with Matthew Broderick. Didn't I have you watch that movie?
Oh yeah, great movie. That was what's her face from Breakfast Club, Ali Sheedy, in a completely different light. That's what's called acting in actresses and actors, because they can play one role so specifically, in the next role you're just like, whoa. So
877-377-6963 if you want to get with us. We have halftime homework coming up very soon. And later on today, be sure to, if you miss any of the show, you can listen to our podcast, which Ty will tweet out on Hit That Line later on today. It's also available on Apple, anywhere that you get your podcast, on SoundCloud as well. It's the Halftime Podcast, and it is brought to you by our friends at Jeff's Clubhouse. Should be a pretty good week for us to actually get to some score picks for the game tomorrow when Arkansas plays Mississippi State. I'm not afraid of putting a score out there for tomorrow. Last week, the Alabama game was just like, what's the point of trying to guess what the score is going to be? I think it'll be a pretty tight game on Saturday. Two teams slumping terribly on the offensive side. Arkansas has to find a way to slow down Mississippi State's Kylan Hill and Garrett Schrader. Remember, half of the plays for Mississippi State are either a run for Hill or a run for Schrader. So it's not like there's a lot of what is about to happen here.
I can't wait to see Arkansas make this true freshman coming into Fayetteville look like Tim Tebow and Cam Newton combined. It's going to be fantastic.
So if that true freshman can't look like Tim Tebow, why can't a true freshman look the same for Arkansas? As we throw a little more
gas
wood,
on the fire,
a little more wood on the fire with some lighter fluid as well. All right, we'll come back. We'll wrap up the show with halftime homework, so stick around for the cherry on the top on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
The best midday show in the Natty State. You're listening to Halftime.
Archery season is underway, and black powder season is just days away. And Jelco Outdoors has all your black powder rifles and supplies to get you ready for your hunt. Brands like CVA, Traditions, and Thompson Center. Stop by Jelco Outdoors, your premier locally owned sporting goods store in the River Valley, for all your fall hunting gear. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
Supercuts of Arkansas is raising breast cancer awareness and donating to Bright Pink. Bright Pink is the only nonprofit organization that focuses on prevention and early detection of breast and ovarian cancer. Join the fight, breast cancer awareness. Donating to Bright Pink, the only nonprofit organization. Supercuts help them reach their goal of $10,000. Supercuts is conveniently located and serving its community 7 days a week. Supercuts, they're super into the movement. Supercuts, fresh, clean, sharp.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Football Edition. This is how you say, game tonight. Bring Bud Light. Fantasy fees are due. That's it for today.
Brewed with no corn syrup.
Bud Light, crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
It's football season and the right play is at Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard. Their business is quality used cars at a great price with their #1 goal of passing the savings on to you. The latest makes and models, low mileage vehicles with an overall experience that can't be matched. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard today and find that there's no better way to buy your next vehicle. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales. What are you waiting for?
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
ESPN 95.3. Touchdown! Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
46 degrees on the way to a high of 48 in Fort Smith. Hot Springs, it's 45 degrees on the way to a high of 47. Chilly day to be trick-or-treating outside today. So the best thing to do, Ty, the best thing to do on a night like this is to get yourself a very comfortable blanket, as you would probably grab an ice-cold Coors Light, light a candle. You know what else I told you to do before you put on a really, really scary movie? Put your feet up, grab the person that means the most to you, which I think for you right now would be your roommate, John Neighbors, and put something that makes you cuddle as close as you possibly can to the person you're watching with, because you're so darn scared that you know you need that other person's body warmth in order to keep you warm. That's what you got to do today for your halftime homework.
So are you going to watch a scary movie with the lovely lady tonight after the trick-or-treating's all done and over with?
Well, we're not going trick-or-treating. It's going to be a scary movie. I think that's a given. That's what we'd be watching in the middle of summertime. Never mind on Halloween. It's not even our halftime homework. It's yours.
As if.
I don't trust this kid any further than I could throw him.
I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Get out of my class. Out! Get out!
I was still thinking of going back to school. It's just a movie from the 80s.
I am dangerous.
It's time for halftime homework, presented by Breeden RV and Power Sports.
And the year-end clearance sale continues right now at Breeden RV and Power Sports in Van Buren. Great deals on new RVs. Travel trailers that start at $99.95, fifth wheels that start under $30,000. Of course, all new customers get maintenance for life for free at Breeden RV and Power Sports in Van Buren. Go to BreedenRVs.com for more information. So Ty and me usually we cram. Would that be accurate, Ty?
That's fair.
I say we cram our homework in to the morning leading up to the show. So I had asked this morning, what is it I'm supposed to watch? And Ty said that I was supposed to watch Freaks and Geeks, the Judd Apatow produced and directed show that starred a number of current comedy stars back when they were teenagers. And it's not available anywhere. Not anywhere. They took it off Netflix a year ago. It's not available on Prime. In fact, you know what's funny, Ty? The first thing that popped up when I typed in Freaks and Geeks into my search was the next show you want me to watch, which is Undeclared. So I guess these two shows go together. So I couldn't watch Freaks and Geeks. I thought that I would.
Where was Undeclared? On Amazon Prime?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, good.
I thought that I would be out from under doing halftime homework for this week, but no, not at all. Ty had a trick up his sleeve and sends me to New Girl, which is a Fox sitcom. Is it still airing on Fox, or has it come to an end?
It's done, man. They just completed the 7th season this past spring, I think, is when it finally ended, if I remember that correctly. So I didn't.
Well,
I don't ever watch shows like every week. I just binge watch them once.
Well, who watches shows every week now? Unless you're talking about you watch a show every week. It's called ESPN Game Day.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's appointment television for you. So I watched the pilot episode of New Girl, and it was so funny, so good, and Zooey Deschanel is so charming and cute, and her male roommates now that she is living with are such a funny trio of DBs. And I'm not going to say the term on the air, but I love the fact that they've got a DB jar, which I think we might need here on ESPN Arkansas, not just for you and me, Ty, but also for the Morning Rush and for Ruskin and Zach. If we could get a DB jar, I bet you we would fill that thing to the brim and throw ourselves a massive DB party by the end of the year. So that's an idea I got from the pilot episode of watching New Girl. So New Girl, starring Zooey Deschanel as Jess. She finds out in the pilot episode that her longtime live-in boyfriend is cheating on her. And so she moves out and finds 3 guys on the internet to live with that have been living together for a long time themselves. And she just basically ingratiates herself to them with her quirky, goofy, and very cute personality. She can't help but sing to herself all the time. She's got crazy dance moves. There's a lot about this girl that is weird.
She's like a young Mary Poppins is an excellent way to describe her.
Yes, and she's adorable, too, because, I mean, Zooey Deschanel just is. That's what she is so good at being seemingly flighty and really cute and funny and talented all at the same time. It's a role that's really made for her. I love it. So the first show was so good. I mean, it's just 20 minutes. I had probably 5 or 6 guffaw laughs. I mean, big ones. So I looked at the clock. I'm like, well, what do we got? We got about 25 minutes before the show starts, before halftime begins. I'm going to squeeze in another one here while I'm getting the final prep done for the show, and it worked out perfectly. I really didn't want to do the show today, Ty, because I could have fit in 6 episodes of New Girl, which is now going to be a road trip show for me to stream and binge watch. So you've done very well. You're doing well assigning some of these TV shows now.
It took me a little bit. I was assigning you some crap early on, then I realized I had to feel out your humor. I had to feel out what I thought you would like, and I think I'm bad more in like the 300 or 400s when I was bad in like 162 when we first started doing this thing.
So I'm into this show. I'll watch it. It's on Netflix. I don't have to pay for it, and I'm into it. Well done, Ty. Well done. So then I assigned you. I tried to keep it within football for you. And you had never heard of Beano Cook. So I assigned you Beano Cook. What'd you find out?
Well, here's a clip I'll play, a couple clips from Beano to start things out.
What am I doing here? What did you expect? He can't hear me. I don't need plastic surgery. I'm good looking now. He can't hear me. Why, look at this. This is ridiculous. Tell him I can hear them. Let me start over. I'm just going to talk. I should be next. Can I pick it up? Unbelievable.
So that was the late Beano Cook. He passed away in 2012. One of the premier and more recognized college football voices on a different platform. And Pittsburgh guy. Graduated there, was a sports publicist there, and was on College Game Day for a bit. Really known for his sarcasm. John gave me this tidbit. He wasn't, when he came in the room, he's like, why are you talking about Beano Cook? He's like, that's my halftime homework assignment. What he told me is that him and Frank Broyles were not the best of friends. They didn't get along. Yeah, that's what he told me. He said that it seemed like that Bino would always make fun or go after Arkansas, and that didn't sit well with Frank. And if you remember, obviously Frank did the games alongside with Keith Jackson for a little bit, so they crossed each other's paths a couple times. And then you're going to critique this point just from what I read about him, what he sounded like. He sounded like Corso, but you don't necessarily think that's the case.
Well, they're coming from a different spot. They both were, sort of the silly, older guy on game day that would sort of play off of the being older, and some people would think senile in some ways. But they're coming from different angles, too. I mean, Corso was a coach.
Yeah.
He wasn't a journalist. Bino Cook was the publicist at Pitt, at the University of Pittsburgh, and came more from that angle. But he was also more of like a college football insider, I think, than Lee Corso presents himself. He's more of an analyst. And Bino's also a city guy. I mean, he lived in Pittsburgh throughout his entire life and career. He's got that Yinzer voice. And I think he and Bino and Corso had some similarities, but I just think where their careers began shaped who they eventually became on ESPN and in college football circles. I didn't know that about Cook and Frank not getting along, though.
I'm just going by what John told me. So also Bino, which this is one of the cooler nicknames I've come across, was known as the Pope of college football. That's pretty cool to be recognized as that.
One of his really famous predictions that didn't come true, there was a quarterback out of somewhere in the middle of Pennsylvania named Ron Powlus, who
Heisman
was the
Trophy, yeah.
Yeah, he picked him to win like 2 Heisman trophies and that Notre Dame would win like 2 or 3 national championships while Powlus was the quarterback. He did like himself some Notre Dame. Bino did like himself some Notre Dame. So I'm glad to be able to introduce you to that. All right, so your homework. So I'm going to let you choose. You can either watch, I'll just throw it out there, The Exorcist. You're not going to watch that until I beat you in the college football picks. Or you can watch The Lost Boys, the mid-'80s movie about teenage vampires in California. Really good movie. Or you can watch this. I think you'll like Little Shop of Horrors. It won't scare you. At the very least, Ty, it won't scare you, and it will entertain you, so take your pick.
Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to go with Lost Boys, but I guess I could change my mind. For you, Phil, it was the one that you found after the one I signed. Again, that's my fault for not actually doing the prep and see if it's on a streaming service that Phil has. But Undeclared, it's where Jay Burchell goes to college. It's quite some time. It's been, I think, since college, since I watched it. But I think his dad gets in a divorce, and he ends up going to college with him. So I just know it's similar to Freaks and Geeks, your type of comedy. I think you'll enjoy episode 1.
Gosh, that sounds like Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah,
That's exactly what that sounds like.
It's a great movie. Rodney Dangerfield's great in that movie.
All right, so I think it's a pretty good assignment. And I really need to come from behind and beat you in these college football picks because I need you. We need you to watch The Exorcist, Ty Richardson.
Good luck, buddy.
Have a great Halloween, Winnie the Pooh. For Ty, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, go get some candy.